All right, hey, this is Chris Lucas. Today is March 1st, 2021. It's about 6:30 a.m. There's one more clip I wanted to share. I think it's pretty important. This is only about a minute long.
Es difícil hablar de cifras, pero realmente estamos en los niveles parecidos a lo que ahora encontramos. Estamos en marzo de 2019, no lo detectamos en abril, ni en mayo, ni lo detectamos en febrero. En aquel momento, en plena temporada de gripe, pues, el SARS-CoV-2 pasó desapercibido.
So, in case someone's not understanding or not catching that, so they were looking at sewage samples that they took from March of 2019, March 12th, 2019, in Barcelona, Spain. So these were wastewater samples collected on March 12th, 2019. Just so you can see it up on the screen. So this, I think these samples were taken March 12, 2019, and then it's like in April of 2020 is when they decided to look to see if those samples they took a year ago, which would be almost 2 years ago now, they want to see if it had COVID in it, right? Or, SARS-CoV-2, coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. So April in April of 2020, they decided to analyze this. So they had this sample 1 year before in March of 2019, right? We didn't do lockdowns in 2019, did we? So I kind of want to, understand that because I know a lot of people that are going to watch this, family members, and I want to make sure this point's clear, and friends, and see, and that's 2019 they detected it. The investigators of the state believe you didn't see the virus because we weren't looking for it. That's right. You didn't see it back in March 2019 because you weren't looking for it. You had no idea. But one of the things I saw was this person's comment on Mondo Balance in here. I'm going to make the screen bigger so we can read his comment. But it says 1918, the Spanish newspapers were the first to publish about a new flu. Then it was wrongfully labeled as the Spanish flu around the world, when in truth it came from a military fort in Kansas. So they just happened to be the Spanish just happened to be the first to publish about it. Right? But it existed, but they were the first to acknowledge the Spanish flu existed. So everyone called it the Spanish flu, but it wasn't really the Spanish flu. It came from a military fort in Kansas. So it should have been called the United States flu or the Kansas flu, right? But because they were the first, so it's kind of like, so they say in 2020, the Chinese newspapers were the first to publish about a new flu. And you know the rest of the story. What do they call it? The Wuhan flu. That's what it was called at first, or Wuhan pneumonia. And now everyone thinks this coronavirus, they associate it with China. But see, it was actually found in a sewage sample in Spain in March of 2019. And we weren't locking down. And don't think for a second, like, really? Like, oh, it was just like one person who had it. Because you're going to take a random sewage sample, right? and you're gonna find virus in it, right? Like, obviously it wasn't some like little tiny, just a little. You think about how small viruses are. So it's like you're not just gonna like there had to be a lot of the virus around. So a lot of Spain already had this virus. This virus is already going around, and we're locking the world down over it. That's kind of like my main point. It's like, and people are like, "Oh, you got to wear a mask. You got to do all this other stuff." Oh, that reminds me, I do have one more clip that I have to share. Let me. Oh, I gotta make this screen smaller. No wonder I can't type anything in. Oral health mask. Oral health COVID-19. Oh, see, look at this. Is there a connection between oral health and complications arising from COVID-19? Can't remember the exact clip I found. But there was it was a news clip, and basically it was talking about how you're more likely to have severe COVID. I think it was like 4.5 times more likely to have severe COVID if you have oral health problems, and 3.5 times more likely to be put on a ventilator if you have oral health problems. What do these masks do? Well, I just saw in a comment on one of these videos where someone's like, "Well, I'd rather wear a mask than," and because someone was like, "Oh, these masks are bad," and someone goes, "Well, I'd rather wear a mask because I'd rather have cavities than get COVID." And they said, and they were talking to, and they were telling these people, "Hey, I haven't had cavity in my life. I got 6 now, but I'd rather wear a mask and have cavities than get COVID." And I told them, because I had just watched this video, "Hey, man, do you know you're more likely to get severe COVID if you have oral health problems? So you're saying you got oral health problems, and now because you got oral health problems, it puts you at a 3.5 to 4.5 times more likely to get severe COVID, and 3.5 times more likely to be put on a ventilator." I just wish I could find that video. That was a really good one. I played it on a long show, but I didn't want to play that whole long show because I know people won't watch it. Oh, that's going to be a long video. There was a nice short little clip I found. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Because I just want people to see there are finding links between bad oral health and COVID-19. And guess what? Masks lead to more cavities, more. You know what? Let me find just something just to drive home that point. Because you can already see right here, you got doctors saying there's a connection, all right? So, mask oral health. Okay, see, right here we got dentists warn wearing a mask can lead to unpleasant dental issues. Okay, so it can lead to unpleasant dental issues. And now we also know dental issues lead to more severe COVID, 3.5 to 4.5 times more likely to have severe COVID. So I just want to point that out real quick. And I'm just going to leave it at that.